Welcome back. The SGX Nifty is indicating that we'll have a slightly weak start, flattish start with a bit of a negative bias. We have Harendra Kumar now joining us from Elara. Harendra, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. Now, I wanted your thoughts first on some of these underperformers making a bit of a comeback. Names like IndusInd Bank, RBL Bank. You think there's scope for more rally in some of these beaten down private banks?
Okay, so clearly, whatever media reports are suggesting, the rallies in both these stocks are, presumably event driven. One is, of course, related to future retail, and the second is related to the Voda idea, the company getting some monies out of the Indus merger. So I think these trades are obviously very difficult to assess or trade in. So I wouldn't jump into this trade without definitive information or knowledge that such an event is a strong possibility, number one. But if you look at the overall banking space, I think it is way, way below pre-COVID levels. So fundamentally, the risk aversion in banking stocks or financial is very, very elevated, given the lack of clarity on moratorium or how the space is going to pan out. So at the moment, we are structurally underweight financials. I think in the new rally, financials will underperform dramatically given the current over-ownership of this sector. Every level you will have sellers in this stock. So we are not jumping into financials at the moment.
Okay, Harendra, hi, good morning. So not jumping into financials, what about two-wheeler companies? Companies like Hero MotoCorp reported numbers that were not so bad and management commentary was also decent. But stocks have run up quite a bit. What do you do with these names, Hero, Bajaj now?
Okay, so just to begin with, we'll put it in context. If you remember, the sell down in auto stocks happened in 2018, which was the first time that India is going to enter into a bear territory. And they were the most loved and most owned stocks at the given point of time. And clearly, the consensus would not believe that such a sell-off is going to happen. Currently, if you see, most of the auto stocks are in good value zones at the given point of time. Right. So I think at this moment, the bets are from the value investors. That at this level, maybe two-wheeler, which is Hero MotoCorp or, even a Bajaj or for that matter, even a TVS Motor are looking very, very attractive at the given point of time. So the early bets that are made were because of value investors. Now you need to have a follow-through in terms of volume growth subsequently that needs to follow through for the sector to rally. So valuation comfort is there. So I think that you can tick mark on that in terms of whether you want to enter a sector or not. And mind you, with interest rates hitting new lows, typically the first sector that bounces back is auto. So I think, yes, we are watching the space very, very closely. Two-wheelers will be the first stocks that will rally within the space at this given point of time. And we would be, keenly observing Hero, Bajaj, or for that matter, TVS from this game. So not fully aligned with the view at this given point of time, but yes, watching very closely.
Okay, good morning, Harendra. Well, I want to know what is your post-COVID portfolio. Let me start with one that everyone has picked, Pharma. The Pharma index is the outperformer year to date. It's up about 25%. You can't see that of anybody else. And specific stocks, are up even like 70%, stocks like Oro. Are they still worth buying?
Yes. Absolutely. Like again in auto, if you see, the market goes through cycles. Pharma has been an underperformer over the last 3 to 4 years, and they've reached compelling valuations. So, the other story that's panning out, we've done a report that the US generics market is improving, it's stabilizing, competition is waning, and you could see pricing recovery coming back. You've also seen a spate of regulatory positive information that's coming up with respect to Indian FDA plans. So yes, Pharma is important, and this is the early legs of the beginning of a rally and a earning cycle. So we are very positive on Cipla, Ipca, Dr. Reddy's as the the tail flows from there on. So yes, Pharma will be a primary sector, but mind you, it is not a sector that can drive the index. So you will have to. It's more about a positional call in certain stocks that you would want to buy and hold.
Okay, what about a stock like Titan, Harendra? How do you approach this one after the numbers?
Yes, Titan, clearly there is a lot of institutional interest in the way it performs and delivers. I think it will remain a evergreen story. What we looked at it is, risk aversion is always good for gold. The company has diversified its product portfolio. So at every level, be it Titan, Page, or for that matter, even Bajaj Finance, these are the erstwhile, favorites of institutional investors. I think they will come back. And they are steady compounders, right? But do I have anything incremental to add on Titan in terms of trend change or direction? No.
Well, Harindra, I want to ask you more broadly about the mid-caps. The index is at about 14,000. Its highs were 21,000 in 2017 end. So that's clearly the underperforming index, but it's a large number. What will you pick? Will that be your accent, mid-caps, and what?
Yeah, it should be. Because the Nifty 50 weightages are very different from the Nifty Midcap or Nifty 500. Because the Nifty 500 has lesser weightage on financials, it will outperform the Nifty 50. I think that is what people should bear in mind, number one. Number two is that the tail is longer out there. And the midcaps collapsed because risk aversion was very high. So as the risk dissipates, the midcaps will rally higher. Now, within that, clearly you will have I think the number one out there will be the agri stocks. Mind you, the reforms out there are phenomenal. You will see pricing reforms, you will see end selling prices improving. And, I could also take a guess that maybe this is a precursor to fertilizer reforms. So I think I would be looking at the entire space quite closely out there, number one. Number two, I think the gas stocks. I think people are missing the point here that gas prices have plunged to all-time lows. And there's a big catalyst for gas consumption. And even stuck power projects, which are based on gas, will see revival. So I think we are secularly bullish on gas stocks in terms of gas consumption going ahead. And again, there you have fairly good, decent picks that you would want to own. So I would start off with maybe agri and gas stocks to start off on the mid-cap side.
Okay, agri and gas stocks in the mid-cap side. Today is an important day for some of the telecom companies because that whole AGR case will be taken up in the Supreme Court where they could be allowed to make that staggered payment. In any case, stocks like Bharti, Reliance, even Vodafone for that matter have been rallying. Are you bullish here or do you continue to be bullish? And if yes, what would your top pick be?
Okay, so I think here, one prima facie change that one needs to make is Reliance per se is no longer a telecom company now. So Telecom, with the kind of spate of investors that have come in and with the articulation of a new retail strategy, it becomes an e-commerce company, right? So I think there is an orbital shift in Reliance from what we used to look at it 2 years ago. So I think the dynamics changes, the multiples and the re-rating will accordingly change. So you're left with Bharti, Airtel and Idea. So clearly the pick out there is Bharti. Again, you're hearing news flows that some of the larger internet players or e-commerce players are looking to partner. So what is the mix here is that you're seeing telecom players getting morphed into e-commerce companies. So I think the big value currently resides in Bharti Airtel at the gain point of time. I think on dips, one should look to consolidate the stock because you have upsides up to 800 and 850 rupees. And mind you, the trend is only beginning. So people who feel that they've left out in the rally should not grieve. They'll get, a huge secular rally coming in all the telecom and convergence stocks.
All right. Harindra, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Let's hope that next time we will be able to get you in person. Hope the lockdown eases and eases fast. Thank you very much for joining us. Quick break and then we are coming back with our technical experts, Ashwini, Sudarshan and Mitesh.